What's going on, guys? So in today's video, I'm going to take you through how to create a button in Tkinter. Okay, so I'm going to start with importing my Tkinter window. So from Tkinter, I'm going to import asterisk. Now I'm going to assign my window to TK. Okay, then I'm also going to give my window a background color. So window.config, I'll say BG white. Okay, I also give my window a geometry. So window.geometry. So I'm going to run my windows with the main loop. So we'll like window Okay, so this is my starter code. So you can see I assign my window to TK. I give it a background color of white and I give it a geometry of 500 by 500. So if I launch this, we have our window ready. So I'm going to start by adding the button. So if you look into my folder here, I have 4 different images here that I'm going to add. So first of all, we are going to start by assigning our button 1. I want to put my image inside the button. So first I would like to assign a variable and install my image in it. So to do that, I'm going to create a variable called button image. You can name it whatever you want. So button 1 image, and I'm also going to put the link to the image in the description so that you can download it and follow along. So we'll have photo image. So I'll assign my image to photo image, and inside this I'm going to add a file. So I want to specify the part of my image. So inside my image folder, I have my images here. So now I'm going to use for my images folder, I'll say I'm using play button .png. So now I've assigned my image first. So now I will create, after assigning the image, so now we'll now create the button itself and put this image inside. So we'll come to the next line again. So we are going to assign our button. So I'm going to name this button 1. So inside this, I'll say button. Now I'm putting this on my window, and I'm putting my image inside. So I'll say image, and I'll assign it to my button image 1, which I assign here. So you can see at the top here, I assign a button image 1, which I place my image inside. Now inside my button widget, I'm now assigning the image attribute to the button image variable here. So that is what this is. So image is equal to button 1 image, and I'm also going to place this now. So at the bottom here, I'll say button 1 dot place. So I'm going to give this an S coordinate of let's say 100, and a Y coordinate of 45. So now I'm going to save this and launch this. So now you can see we have a button here. Now you can see that our image, we've inserted this image in a button. But if you look at this doesn't look good. we like to start this more. So now there's few things that you can do with this, depending on how you want your button to be, or depending on what you want. So for example, now let's say I want to remove the border width of this. Now we have an attribute called border width. So I can assign this and make it like 0. So if I save this as well, now you can see the border width of this becomes 0. I don't know if you notice the difference. So for example, if I comment this is different than if I remove this as well. So now you can see our button is without border width. Now another thing we can also do is now we can also change the background color. So for example, I want to see only the blue circle with the white play in the middle of the button. We don't want to see that gray background there. So we can also, that's because when we added the button into the image, button, it comes with a background, default background. So we have to remove that background and make it the same color as the main background of the window. So now if we look at our window here, the background of this window here is white. So you also want to assign this button a background of white. So right here, I'm going to also say Beijing. Then I'm also going to assign this a white color. So now if I save this and I run this, you can now see the background color is gone. Now this blends perfectly with the background. We can only see now the round blue and the white play icon in it. So another thing we can also do is now when we click on this bar button, you can also see we have this highlight color there. When we click on the button, we have this gray background that still appears. Now we've made the background blend with this perfectly, but when we click on it, it also comes with another background. We also want to remove that. Now that's what we call the highlight active background. We have something called active background. So if I say active background, I will also set it to white. So let me just copy this color. If I paste it here, now if I run this, if you click on this, you can see now it looks good now. Another thing we also want to do is, for example, with button, whenever I put my mouse on it, I want this mouse to change to a pointer, a hand pointer instead of this. So I also come here, cursor. Can also say cursor, then we'll assign this to a string hand too. So I also save this. Now if I run this, now you can see when I put my pointer on this, changes to this hand there. So that is another thing I also do with this button. So now one thing too that I would also like to introduce you to is now with inserting this image into the button, we are using the photo image at this instance. In this photo image, which comes with Tkinter. So for some reasons, which I don't really know, sometimes you realize that sometimes when you use this photo image, you don't actually get your results. You don't actually get your image, which I don't know for the specific reason. But in some cases, you realize that if you use this photo image, the image doesn't show. So there, I'm going to teach you another way you can also add the image. So in case in the future, or in case if this is working for you, that's fine. But in case, I'm also giving you the second method. In case one day you try this and this doesn't work, then you also use the second method. So now in the second method, we use something we call the pillow. Now in the pillow, we have to install the pillow. So to use the pillow, we can go to the console, the command prompt. So you can just say pip install pillow. I've already installed it, so they are going to say package already exists. But if you don't have it for the first time, you can install this using the pip install pillow. So you can see it's telling me requirement already satisfied because I already have pillow. You can see the version here. So now after installing pillow, we are also going to import it here. So to import, we can say from pillow. So this is how we import it, the package pill, all in uppercase. So we say import. Now we are going to use the image TK from the pillow. We have the image TK. Then we are also going to use the image. So we are importing two. You can see I just import the image TK and the image. We are importing two libraries from the pill package. So now if I come here, now I'm also going to create another button using the image TK, using the pillow library. So now if let me assign this, let me use button 2 here. Let's say button 2. So let me say button image 2, and I'll assign this to image and dot open. Okay, so now that's the difference. So I'm also going to say assign my file. So I'm from my image folder, for my images folder, I'm going to say stop button dot png. So now you can see the difference between this is I'm using the photo image here, and with the photo image I'm assigning the file to this, but here I'm using the image which I just imported from the bill here. So you can see I imported images, so I'm using that image.o and I'm opening this. So I'm assigning one image for my source folder. So if I come here now, I'm going to assign the image. I'm going to assign the photo to whichever image I just assigned. So I'll use the image TK library, which I also imported here. So we'll say image TK and then photo image. So we are using the photo image that comes from the image TK library. So that's what we are doing. So we say image TK dot photo image. And that will say now button. So button image 4. Okay, I think this is button image 1. Let me see. Okay, it's button image 2. So we'll say button image 2. So remember we assigned the button image 2 here to this. So that's what we are calling it. So now we'll come here, then we'll also say button. We have button 1 already, so let's make this button 2. So now we are going to assign our button. So I'm calling my button. I'm putting it on my window. And I'm also assigning my image to this. So I will say image and I will assign it to the photo that we have here. So you can see here we assign this photo to the image TK here. After assigning the button image to, we assign this photo to this button image to using the photo image from the image TK. So we are assigning this to the photo which we assigned to the button image 2 that we assigned to the photo image. So here I'm going to say photo. So if I come here, let me just copy this. I'll say place. So now let's say we have X of, let's say 250. We'll say we have Y. So let's say 150. So if I should save this and launch, now you can see we have this image added successfully. So now same thing applies to what we did to the first button here. So for example, we can also assign some things like border width. Border width, you can assign this to 0. You can also change the active background to also blend with the background. So then we can also change the background itself. So to this, now you can see it's also gone. Okay, I think it's active background, not active foreground. So along this, you can see you can also change this button, the cursor to hand to. So you can see we have it right here. So now, for example, let's say the background of my page is this. Let's say the background of my page is this. Now, if I run this, you can see now the buttons we assign now, they are having a white background. So it means depending on which background of a page you have to change the background of a button to fit with whichever background you have. So if the background of my page is this, it means I have to assign the background of my button and the foreground to whichever color added there. I also have to change the foreground. So then if I launch this, you can see this button is also blending with the background. So that is if you want to use that background. So same thing, if I come here, I can also decide to change this again. Also change this. So can see. So now let me just keep it back to the white. Okay, so now this, depending on whichever button you like to add to the background. So for example, depends on what you want, what image you want to add. So now let's say I also have this button I want to add. For example, this next button. So let's say if I come here, if I also say, let me also assign another button here. So button 3, I'll say button image 3. So I'll say to image. So file. Then I'm also assigning my URL. Okay, so I'm also going to assign this, so button 3 to place. So I'm going to put also an X coordinate of, let's say 100. So now if I save this and run it, now you can see we have this button here as well. So let me see I think we have a background. Okay, let's give this the border width of this to be 0. So border width is so now we also have this our button here. So now at the end of the day, it depends on whichever image you want to add. So with this, I'm still using the photo image. So remember, if in case the photo image is not working and you want to use the fill, same process. So instead of assigning this to the photo image, you are assigning this button 3 to rather image.open, where your image will be here. Then you assign a photo to image TK. Then you link your button 3 here. Then you assign your button finally. Then you put it on window. Then you add the same thing. So basically follow the same step here. So that's if you want to use this. So that's how it also works. So it depends on whichever image you want to add. Depends on whichever image. Okay, so here this is supposed to be file, not photo. So this is supposed to be file. It's supposed to be also photo image. Yes, so this is always wrong photo image. So this is working. So this is how we add image to a button in Tkinter. So depends on whichever image you want to add to the Tkinter button, but this is the steps on how I add image to a button in Python Tkinter. So if you have any question or there is something I didn't tackle you want me to do, you can drop your comment, or any question or something you don't understand, you can just drop your comment and I will reply them. So thank you guys. If you like this video, don't forget to hit the like button and also drop your comment. And I'm also putting the link to the image in the description for you to download them to follow along. So thank you once again. Don't forget to like this video, share and subscribe this channel. Thank you guys. See you in another video.